House Transportation Committee voted out a bill that will replace the Alaskan Way Viaduct with a deep bore tunnel. As a member of this committee, what are your thoughts regarding the planned replacement tunnel?
I think from a downtown design point of view for Seattle, the deep bore tunnel makes a great deal of sense. I don't think any of us really wanted to replace the Alaska Way Viaduct with another elevated structure. Most of us, I think, have looked at that and said that's really not a good use of Seattle's downtown waterfront, to have a large structure in front of all the buildings. So some model that got rid of that elevated structure, I think, was what everybody was looking for. The first tunnel project, which was going to be tunneling right along Alaska Way and down along the waterfront, was real troublesome to many of us because you're actually below the sea level there before they had to fill. So we were real concerned about whether that would be viable. This new model, I think, or new proposal makes a whole lot more sense. The real key issue here, though, to understand, I think, is I've maintained from day one that the state's responsibility for the replacement of a viaduct is to fund a certain dollar amount. That dollar amount is $2.4 billion. So I'm willing to write a check for $2.4 billion. If in fact Seattle wants to have some other design that might cost more, that's perfectly okay with me. They simply need to pick up the additional cost. I don't want the state to be in a position where we're going to be asked to spend more than we had agreed to on the original viaduct, and that's $2.4 billion. So it's my hope that they can keep it within that budget, or at least absorb any of the cost overruns on their own.
The House is expected to pass legislation regarding the replacement for 520 Bridge later this week. What do you expect that bill to accomplish?
The first thing that it will accomplish, in fact, I'm going to drop what we call a striking amendment on the bar tomorrow, and that amendment will simply state that we will start early tolling. We cannot build that bridge without tolling it. The tolls have to start now because we're going to be starting construction of the bridge, that is the pontoon section, next year. So the tolls should match up when we are beginning to start construction. The sooner you toll, the cheaper it is. We keep the tolls down that way. So the bill that I'm going to be dropping tomorrow will allow early tolling to begin sometime next year. It will be a tolling amount sufficient to bond that revenue stream to raise the money necessary to replace the floating section of the bridge. In other words, replace that portion of the 520 corridor that is in most danger of sinking. We will attach it at the east and west ends, of course, and then replace the bridge decking and the pontoons. That's the most important part. Also in the bill, however, is the recognition that we haven't finished the design on the west end projects. What the landing will look like at the west end on Foster Island, the Arboretum, Montlake, and whatever connection up to Husky Stadium. So that work will still go on. We'll have a design group of legislators and some community members that will report back to the legislature by January of 2010. So I'm hoping we will start making progress, and I was thinking about it the other day. I've actually been working on the 520 Bridge project since 1997. And I'm going to drop a bill tomorrow that, if the creek don't rise, we'll actually have a bonding bill in place and begin building that bridge. So I'm excited.
Thank you.
Sure.